Look how sick this looks. 100,000 people watch my videos. Yeah, welcome back to the iDoctor UK podcast. I've got a new prop. I've got my usual coffee. I've got my microphone. And just a little something in the corner there. 100,000 subscribers. So, yeah, it finally came. Really, really buzzed for it. It's good. It's good. It feels really nice to finally own one. I've been after one for a long time. I didn't think it had happened this quickly. Like, we were stuck on 20,000 subscribers. Well, we were stuck between like 10. It was growing at a good pace, but at the pace it was growing at before, it was going to take like a year or two to get to where we're at now. But like, it's just gone crazy. So thanks everybody who watches the podcast, who watches the videos, who subscribes. I love you all, every single one of you. It's been a whirlwind. I've mentioned it before. We're going to Serbia next week. We're going to Berlin the month after. Like, things just go fast. It's scary how quick things grow, change. It's so exciting at the same time, though. So, yeah, thanks to every single one of you. We've got the trophy now. This thing. I don't know. You might see my reflection or the phone's reflection in the background, but I don't care because we've got 100,000 subscribers and a silver play button. Let me drink some more coffee. That's going to sound horrible. That was probably the best disruption that I've had. I don't know. Like, maybe we can sound clip this and reenact it. But we charged. Let's start talking about this. You know, like software resets. So, like, if somebody gets stuck in recovery mode, that was that one, or storage full, or lost passcode, whatever. I charge 20 quid to do that. Whether you think that's too expensive or not, people pay me to do it. That's how it is. The guy who's just been in now, he has used us for many, many years. I can remember actually going to his house when I used to do it door-to-door, phone repairman. Anyway, very kindly, and without wanting anything in return, really, apart from obviously his phone fixing, I just restored it. It was stuck in recovery mode. He had some trouble updating it. And he brought me a pack of chocolate shortbreads. Just to be kind, which I thought was really nice. So I just said, look, I'm not charging you. That's how it goes. And he wouldn't accept until I said, keep your fucking money, mate. Yeah, so sometimes it's nice to do these things. Like I say, he's used us many, many times before. He tells people about us. I know this for a fact, so it's all good. So yeah, sometimes it's nice to do things for free, especially when it doesn't cost you any money to do it. I was in the middle of saying that I wanted to go back to how we used to do things around here by responding to comments and stuff. Now, we get lots of comments. Now, the problem is, I've spoke about this before. When the comments come in, they come in so thick and fast on these short videos that a lot of the good comments get buried and with negativity. Literally, last week we were going through those held comments and we had a little laugh. It was funny. And now we had a look on that podcast. There was some really good comments on there, so I appreciate everybody who leaves a nice comment. I even appreciate the people who leave nasty comments because I don't really care. You're going to struggle to upset me, brother. The first comment this week, what I'm going to say is, this is me iPhone XS work phone. It's got like screen burning and it's not in the best of nick. I use it for the Protection Pro, which we'll talk about some more. We talk about every week. Just wanted to drop you guys a line and thank you for giving me the nudge to start my enterprise locally. iPhone glass repairs, screens, batteries, etc. Anyway, thank you guys. Well, thank you Adam Husk, TS9UF, for leaving us a nice comment. Sometimes we get people who leave these comments and I see them. I really, really do appreciate them because, I don't know, it's a nice thing that people will watch my videos. I can remember watching people on YouTube when the very first time I started the business, and I was watching them. I'm thinking, there's no way in a million years that I will be able to get to the level of these guys. And I'm not saying that I've passed any of these people, but there's a lot of people that I looked up to at the start, and to think that there might be people who sort of do the same with our videos, it's mad to think about, and it's so humbling, it's so nice. So yeah, Adam Husk, I really appreciate that. Thank you for leaving a nice comment. Mr. Cooper, what is wrong with people? That's in reference to these nasty comments, I think. On another note, I'm looking forward to the Flip iPhone when it eventually arrives. I wonder what they'll call it, the iFlip 1, iFold. What do you think? I don't know. I think they'll stay away from the Flip or the Fold, and they'll give us iOpen or something like that. Maybe. Nah, that sounds shocking. question. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they'll reinvent the wheel and it'll not be a flip phone or a fold phone and it'll be a swivel phone and they'll be going, I swivel. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, very good question. I'm going to think about it some more and I might have a better answer for you next week. But I didn't even know that they were making one. I don't know. I think a lot of people know my stance on flip and fold phones. That they're great gimmick, but in practicality, they're not very good. In other news, I know I talk about the Protection Pro all the fucking time, but I did I did Protection Pro on a fold phone the other day, and that actually came out so well. It works really, really well on that. You know, on those fold and flips, like when they've been opened too many times or they get a bit of dirt and dust behind that screen protector, as soon as it starts peeling a little bit, it just starts breaking very, very quickly. And we did the Protection Pro on one, and it was phenomenal. I would recommend, if you've got one of the Protection Pro machines and you wanted to try it out yourself, do a practice first, just to make sure that you're comfortable on it. The other thing to remember is that it needs to stay open for about an hour. If you've used the Protection Pro, you'll notice that I call it the wetting, and underneath the screen it just looks like it's a little bit wet, and you can see that there's some moisture under there what's drying. That disappears after about half an hour to an hour, and it actually does. Whereas with the other brands of screen protection machine, you get that line across the middle. I don't care how many people say this, and you can use the vacuum machine, or not the vacuum machine, the autoclave all you want. It never ever goes fully. That line's always there. Whereas with the Protection Pro, it's not there anymore. I can't remember what I was talking about. Flip phones. I just don't know what they're going to call the iFlip, iFold, flip. I don't know. I'm sure they'll come up with something creative. They pay a lot of people a lot of money to do that, and I'm not getting paid to tell them what to call it. I'm going to look into it though, because I imagine there's some rumours online, like Mac rumours or something like that. So yeah, thanks for your comment, Luke. Always appreciate it, man. Reforce Official says, do a video on Devia versus Protection Pro. Funnily enough, we've just been talking about the Devia versus, other brands versus Protection Pro. 100%. We've been talking about this. I want to do, somebody asked for like a bit of a tips and tricks sort of video on the Protection Pro. I think it was Geordie John asked for a tips and tricks video with the Protection Pro. Steve at Replace Base very, very kindly spent an hour with us on a FaceTime call, and he just like went through everything. And I knew a few bits and bobs from when we had the old machine, and we didn't get on with that, but that's in the past now, whatever. Going through it with Steve and going through like all the tips and tricks that he's picked up has been really, really handy. So yeah, I think I will do a video. I need to make more content about the Protection Pro machine, because all I do is sit and talk about it here, but you guys have never seen it really in action. Funnily enough, the same as what we said about the Reaver machine that we're going to go and talk about next week. I've never seen it in action. I've seen lots of videos about it and around it, but I've never seen it actually being used, so I'm really, really looking forward to it, and I think that you guys would appreciate if you see it in action. So yeah, thanks for your comment. I will 100% do it. Geordie John says he bought himself a Protection Pro machine from Replace Base, and so far looks very impressive. The wet application makes for a more professional fitting. 100%. The wet application means that once you've put it down and it's not perfect, you can do it again if you want, again and again and again, until it is perfect. So you can get the alignment on it. It just looks way better. It does really look good. I've got it on my watch. I will be honest, I whacked it, proper whacked it as well, and I caught it on the side of the swimming pool, and it did sort of knock it a bit, but I'm guessing that's because it was wet at the same time. But I could peel it off, clean it up, and stick it back down if I was that way inclined, but I'm going to just suffer with it for a while. I'm one of those guys. If I had a glass screen protector, it would be 100% chipped, cracked, battered, and I would do nothing about it for a long time until somebody forced me to do something, or I went to TechMax and got a free one. Robert P457, if you don't feel like doing a video, don't do it. Forced videos can lose the magic that creates a good video. I hear you, Robert P. I know what you're saying, and you are 100% right. And I think I've done episodes of this podcast where we've been running behind, and you can see the numbers, the performance isn't as good. So you are 100% right. But nearly 6 months now, this is episode 24 of this podcast. So that means 24 weeks And I know for a fact that we've posted 2 videos, that's repair videos, and 1 podcast every single week for 24 weeks now. I can't lose that streak. That's really, really good going for me. I can't stick to any habits. Like, I quit smoking, that lasted 3 months. I start going to the gym 3-4 days a week. I have been going consistently. Don't worry about that. I do go gym. That's one thing that I've kept up for about 2 years. But there are weeks where I might only go once, or I might only go twice. Posting these 3 videos, I know I employ somebody to do it, Alex, but at the same time, like, it takes input from me, and I do struggle to motivate myself with things, and I'm one of those people who just says, tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow never fucking comes. That's how it is. So, yeah, whilst you're saying that I don't need to force myself, with the shorts, I don't do that as much. So if I'm not feeling it with the shorts, I'll just not post any. And in all honesty, weirdly enough, we get paid more when we don't post shorts than when we post shorts. So I don't know what's going on with some of these algorithms sometimes. It's really quite confusing, and it's frustrating as well. Like when you're posting consistent videos and you see no sort of return for it, but then you don't post for a month and you get paid the same. It's like so strange. Anyway, thanks for your comment. I appreciate what you're saying, but I'm gonna keep forcing myself to do things. That's what discipline is. Mr. Amber A is back. Use it as a mute switch on your 15 Pro Max, and more comments equals more engagement. You're right. More comments is great. So yeah, even if they're bad and negative comments, that is what it is. In last week's episode, I asked what you use the action button on the side of your phone for. Mute button, I imagine, is probably one of the most popular because it's been a mute rocker for many years. But yeah, I think I mentioned that I use it for ChatGPT because it's just like having an assistant, and I'm looking forward to how Apple's intelligence will move forward. So yeah, that was that. Last night I couldn't sleep, and I thought of loads of things that I could say on the podcast this morning. Realistically, it's probably things that I've already mentioned before, and I thought of a few things to say, but I think it's all just stuff what we've touched on before. But the main thing this week is 100,000 subscribers, and we've got a trophy to show for it. The other thing what I was going to say is, like, it's payday week this week, and I don't think we've ever been this busy. And I've said this a few times over these last 6 months. It's hard. It's so hard to keep up with everything at the moment. Like, I went away last weekend. We went camping at the seaside, which was nice, but it meant I had like 2.5 days off. And now I'm still playing catch up. It's Thursday now, and I've got people chasing me, which is never a good place to be. So yeah, it's just chaos, and I'm sat here on sofa just talking rubbish to you guys. But I think on that note, I will leave it there, and we'll come back next week, which will be a super special episode. We're gonna do our absolute best to make sure that it's posted next Sunday, but it might lead into Monday. If it does, bear with me. It's only because we're in Serbia recording it. So I'm going to record it maybe Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, and I want to get it edited and posted, or at least scheduled before we go for a beer on Friday night, even though I don't drink beer. Next week's episode, make sure you're here for that, because it's going to be a special one, guys. Have a great week, everybody, and see you next time.